Here we are, the middle of the week already. It is Wednesday, February 5th. Here's what we're working on this morning. A measles outbreak in Norfolk County has now hit 21 confirmed cases.
Rising temperatures seem to be helping rat populations grow faster. Ugh.
And William Nylander notches his second career hat trick as the Leafs beat the Flames. And a very good morning to you, Louie.
Good morning.
And also to Steve Ruddick, filling in for Brian Wood for the rest of the week.
Good morning. I really should read the headlines before the show because I was not mentally prepared for that rat story at 6 in the morning.
Okay, can we add rats to the things you're afraid of?
Okay, so I'm not afraid of them. I just find that they're the most disgusting things in the world are rats. And anyway, it was 6 a.m. Anyway, that threw me off this morning.
They clear away the garbage.
Clear away the garbage. That's all you have to do. Good morning, Steve. You're looking very dapper in the red today.
Very.
Thank you very much. That's just the inside of my eyeballs, too, at this time of the day.
Sorry for the early wake-up.
That's okay. No problem up there at all. Anyway, let's have a look and see what's happening on the highways right now. Now, compared to what it will be likely tomorrow, it's very, very calm today. It's kind of nice. So a minute after 6 on your Wednesday morning, let's have a look and see what's happening on the roads down towards Niagara. First of all, as we like to usually do, and things remain fairly quiet down there, but certainly the shot of Glendale looks kind of cold out there. Feeling like about -10 or so in most areas with the wind chill factor right now, but we're going to be in general terms at or maybe a little below seasonal for the next little while. Looking elsewhere up to Ontario Street, traffic still fairly light there. Up into the Hamilton area, Burlington Skyway Bridge starting to build up now, eastbound coming towards us there, left of your screen. By Guelph Line, that's fairly busy as we move along right now, and by the Ford plant, traffic's moving well, but as you can see, fairly busy. 403 west of King Road, not a whole lot of activity right now. 403 Mavis, seeing no problems. Up by Pearson Airport, we're seeing traffic moving along in pretty good shape. So again, we're not seeing weather as a factor today with our conditions out there on the roads. However, that's a different thing tomorrow. We'll tell you all about that in a few minutes.
Okay, thanks very much, Steve. Well, there are now 2 more confirmed cases of measles being investigated by Grand Erie Public Health. It brings the total to 21. Simone Gavros joins us with more. And Simone, this is kind of complicated by how large of an area the Grand Erie Health area covers.
Yeah, and that's something that we've been noticing, just how vast these cases are. And these latest 2 cases are in adults. They're linked to a previous exposure, according to the health unit. Now, the cases include 5 adults and 16 children in the Grand Erie region. As you mentioned, this includes Haldimand County, Norfolk County, Brantford, and the county of Brant. Now, since early January, the cases have more or less been contained to the region, but it seems to be spreading across the GTHA. Now, the following locations are the latest to have been exposed to measles. That includes 2 locations in Simcoe, Ralston's Pharmacy on January 28th, and Shoppers Drug Mart on January 30th. The infected individuals also traveled to a Best Western hotel in Newmarket, as well as the Magna Center Arena, also in Newmarket, on January 31st. Now, all these confirmed cases are currently recovering at home. Cases in the Grand Erie region date back to January 10th, when an adult resident from Haldimand, Norfolk, was confirmed to have the virus. Measles is a highly contagious airborne disease. It can live in the air for up to 2 hours. Anyone who believes they've been exposed to measles, they're asked to check their vaccination records. In Ontario, you need 2 doses of measles before the age of 7. Vulnerable individuals with a weakened immune system should contact their healthcare provider, and people are also advised to monitor their symptoms for at least 21 days after exposure. Now, anyone with measles must isolate immediately and report the illness to your local public health unit. I've also reached out to a number of infectious diseases specialists for more on these rising cases. For now, Louie, back over to you.
All right, thanks, Simone. Hamilton police are investigating a fire at a downtown condo building sparked by a break-in. Crews were called to the area of James and Beckley Streets just after 9 last night. Police believe a group tried to steal copper wiring from a transformer in the building. The fire started after the wires were cut. The blaze caused a 45-minute power outage, but has since been restored. No injuries were reported. No arrests have been made. Police are looking for for 4 to 5 suspects, but they note that closed-circuit television footage was lost during the outage. Anyone with information is asked to contact police.
Hamilton International Airport is going to have a new look when Porter Airlines starts flying there in a few months. Work is already underway to change the front of John C. Munro Airport, and changes will be made to the interior as well. Porter Airlines is already selling tickets to its service in Hamilton, which start in June. It will have daily flights to Calgary, Edmonton, Halifax, and Vancouver. Porter's not a discount airline like many others that have called Hamilton Airport home and then failed. Porter's CEO says its value-added experience is something travelers in Hamilton haven't seen before.
Hamilton has an incredible location. 1.5 million people in Ontario live closer to this airport than any other airport. What it has lacked over the last many years is consistent service to a range of destinations.
Now, the biggest change coming to Hamilton Airport, passenger bridges, so you don't have to brave the elements to get on a plane.
Meanwhile, an aviation industry expert who lives in the Hamilton area says Porter is coming to the right place at the right time, adding that it's going to make an exceptionally strong economic impact on labor, income, and jobs.
You're working for the city's economic development department, trying to attract new businesses to Hamilton, or in the tourism department. I think all these things go into their toolkit to attract additional business and tourists to the greater Hamilton area.
It was on the 6 p.m. news last night where he said that the base service Porter will offer to Calgary, Edmonton, Vancouver, and Halifax, believed to be just the start. It's expected Porter will add further service later this fall.
Progressive Conservative leader Doug Ford has addressed some overheard comments that he made about U.S. President Donald Trump while he was wearing a microphone.
You know something, I always believe in working with anyone. And yeah, on the hot mic, yeah, he makes me swear once in a while. I think he makes a lot of people swear in this country. So I thought it'd be a little different, a little change, but obviously he decided to pull the knife out and stab us. And when I'm there, my #1 job is to protect Ontario, to protect Canadians. That's exactly what I'm going to do. I will fight with every single tool I have in our toolbox to make sure we defend the people of Ontario and, in return, defend the people of Canada.
Speaking to supporters at a campaign event in Etobicoke, Ford says he was 100% happy that Ford had won the election. Then he used an expletive to say, then Trump stabbed us.
It doesn't surprise me at all that he would say something like that, that's how he really feels. I think probably the one thing I would say is that, it's a little bit sad that while, Doug Ford clearly is a big fan of Donald Trump doesn't seem to be aware of who Doug Ford is.
So what does it say about a man who is a leader in this province who would stand with the president knowing that he was going to be hurtful to our economy? It seems to me that he would use it. He was looking to use it to his own personal benefit.
The Ontario election coming up February 27th. Advance polls will be open from the 20th to the 22nd of the month.
All right, Sportsline, let's start on the ice where the Maple Leafs were in action. They continued their West Coast road trip, taking on the Flames in Calgary last night.
Out of McMahon, into Nyes, Nylander shoots, scores! Heat 3-on-1 defending now as Nylander brings it in. Nylander in, shoots, scores! Uyghur pressure, Nylander empty net for the hat trick. Nylander shoots and scores!
Calgary-born William Nylander had his second career hat trick exactly 8 years to the day of his first as the Leafs doubled up the Flames 6-3. Nylander, whose dad Michael spent 5 seasons in Calgary, now has 33 goals this season. That's second in the league behind Edmonton's Leon Draisaitl. Matthew Nyes, Bobby McMahon, and John Tavares also scored for the Leafs, while Austin Matthews had 3 assists in the win. Next up, they'll head to Seattle tomorrow night to take on the Kraken.
Loose at the doorstep. Cleared out by Faravari. Ovechkin's last chance. Did he beat the buzzer? It has to be across the goal line before 0-0-0. It's close.
He did beat the buzzer as Ovechkin scored his 878th career goal into an empty net with 0.1 seconds left on the clock to move closer to Wayne Gretzky's NHL career record as Washington defeated the defending Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers 6-3. Ovechkin's 25th goal of the season now puts him 17 away from breaking Gretzky's mark of 894 that once seemed unapproachable. The CFL negotiation window remains open ahead of free agency officially opening next week, and the Ticats have reportedly agreed to terms with one of the biggest names on the board.
2nd and 7. Riders send forward. Clark's a ton of time. Down the field, wide open. Who else? Kenny Lawler. Touchdown, Winnipeg.
As first reported by TSN's Dave Naylor, Hamilton has reportedly signed American receiver Kenny Lawler. The 30-year-old has been among the league's most dominant pass catchers over the past 5 seasons, racking up more than 4,000 yards, 25 touchdowns in 62 games in that span. Lawler won 2 Grey Cups as a member of the Blue Bombers in 2019 and 2021 and has played in the Grey Cup in all but 1 season in his CFL career. Sticking with the CFL, 2024 Grey Cup MVP Nick Arbuckle is sticking with the Argos. Arbuckle re-signed with the club yesterday after he was set to become a free agent. He completed 26 of 37 passes for 252 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions in Toronto's 41-24 Grey Cup win over the Blue Bombers back in November. Arbuckle will be entering his 7th CFL season. And switching gears to soccer now, where despite the temperature, Forge FC is set to take on the field formerly known as Tim Hortons tonight as they welcome CF Monterrey from the top Mexican league, Liga MX, in CONCACAF Champions Cup action. Now, it's the Hamilton Club's 3rd appearance in the Continental Championship that sees the top teams in all leagues in North and Central America go head-to-head and features other clubs like Lionel Messi's Inter Miami FC and reigning MLS champion LA Galaxy.
All right, let's have a look at your traffic right now. 12 minutes past 6. If you're heading out the door in the next few minutes, here is what we are going to, or you will find out there on the roads right now. We're starting to see things build up a fair amount. Let's go down to one usual spot that's kind of on the slow side. It's not there. Okay, so let's go down to Niagara first of all, and we'll see what's happening on Ontario Street. Coming out of Niagara, seeing no problems. And again, on the roads, it's not going to be not a bad day ahead of us. We do have some high pressure coming, which will help to give us some partly clear skies. As we move up through the Guelph line area here, we start to see things starting to build up just a little bit here, moving through the area. It's 12 minutes past the hour. Up by the Ford plant, again, you see the traffic starting to move in here now. So here's where we see the rush here towards the Toronto area. 401 and the airport, again, looking in pretty good shape. So we're not expecting any problems weather-wise for the drives today. However, tomorrow morning, that's a little different, and we'll get into that now. So what's happening out there in the bigger picture? So big picture is warm air, in fact some hot air, some subtropical air to the south of us is starting to push up this way, and of course what's going to happen is it's going to run up into this colder air which we have over top of us, and it's going to kind of do a bit of a dance over the next 24-hour period or so. So again, we do have the colder air here, warmer air to the south moving up our way, and we're going to see some mixed conditions in the overnight tomorrow night, or rather tonight, and we're expecting by the time you get to the drive tomorrow, we could see some ice pellets on the ground, a couple centimeters of snow, maybe some freezing rain as well as these systems kind of battle over top of us. So it could set up to be a fairly nasty drive as we get into the overnight period and into tomorrow. But today, kind of a nice day, not bad out there at all. A little bit cooler than it was. High pressure, though, will give us some partly clear skies at least, and we're not anticipating any kind of precipitation, but it will still be a little on the cooler side until that system comes up from the south and, again, starts battling away with our cold temperatures here. And speaking of temperatures, here's what we've got on the go right now. Anywhere from -8 to -9 out there. As we look ahead, your almanac for today, sun will be up at 7:30, down at 5:38 p.m. Normal highs remain about -2 this time of year, and today's high expected to be -4, a little bit colder than it has been the last day or so, 15 kilometer-an-hour winds, and again, mostly cloud, but a little bit of sun. We'll look at the extended forecast coming up in a few minutes. That's it.
Okay, coming up right after the break, we're going to say good morning to Emily Vukovic with a preview of what's to come in her Chit Chat segment. And in business news, U.S. stock futures have dipped in aftermarket trading for a number of factors, including Google. But good news here, the Canadian dollar is making a comeback. Well, would you look who's back with us?
Hey.
Emily Vukovic.
Hi.
Hello.
What's
Hi.
up?
Good morning. I've returned from sick bay.
Yeah, we missed you this week.
Oh, well, after being at home for a couple of days with sick kitties, I have decided they need to go back to school. And I need to come back to work.
That's great to have you back.
It's probably like a vacation coming into work after that, right?
100%.
Are they watching right now, or do they know this? Are they okay, all right. I just want to be sure.
I hope. Okay, well, coming up in Chit Chat, it's nice to be back. Sabrina Carpenter has recruited the Queen of Country in a new collab of her song, Please, Please, Please.
Okay.
And this year's Grammy viewership has dropped. We'll tell you by how much. And later, the Fantastic Four is coming to the Marvel Comics universe. I just watched a tidbit of the trailer. It looks really good.
All right.
And I don't normally nerd out over that stuff.
Yeah, I was about to say. I don't think you're. I don't.
It must be good.
Wouldn't put you as a Marvel person, but okay.
I'm not really. I don't understand it, but it looked good.
It looks good.
You need to know like 50 movies to understand what's going on. So
Which I don't.
All right.
Okay,
we'll see you in a bit.
chat. Okay, the Canadian dollar is looking really good. It's regained losses against the U.S. dollar this morning as investors look at a possible reprieve from U.S. tariffs. So the Canadian dollar bounced back 18 basis points. It's now just over 70 cents U.S. Gold has gained $21.90 an ounce, and crude is down 65 cents to just above $72 a barrel. Midday trading in Europe, markets are down, though, across the board, but by smaller amounts in London, Frankfurt, and Paris.
Over in Asia, markets were up in Tokyo, but down in Hong Kong and Shanghai. And in North American markets, the TSX gained 37 points, the Dow added 134, and the Nasdaq closed 262 points higher. But U.S. stock futures pulled back this morning as the Trump administration's trade war with China gained steam.
Now, S&P 500 futures dropped last night after disappointing results from Google's parent company. Alphabet shares fell nearly 8% in after-hours trading because of weaker than expected cloud revenue growth. Google cloud revenue came in $230 million below expectations. Despite increased spending on artificial intelligence, investors are worried that it's going to take longer for Alphabet to see returns.
Canadian businesses and consumers faced rising financial struggles last year. Insolvencies in Canada are up 12.1% in 2024 compared to 2023, as business liquidations pushed even higher to close to 30%. The Office of the Superintendent of Bankruptcy says construction, transportation, and warehousing and accommodation and food services saw the largest increases in 2024. The Canadian Association of Insolvency and Restructuring Professionals says business and consumer insolvencies reached a 15-year high through 2024. In the fourth quarter of 2024, insolvencies rose 5.2% year over year to more than 35,000 filings.
A Toronto-based company that processed that plant-based milk that was linked to deadly listeria outbreaks is trying to sell two of its facilities now. Juricki was granted court protection from creditors and is trying to liquidate the Pickering plant where the outbreak started. At least 20 people were infected across Canada, and 3 people died between August of 2023 and last July. Juricki says it has potential buyers for sales of its facilities in Toronto and Delta, BC.
A Quebec labor group is urging governments and the public to boycott Amazon. A response to the retail giant shutting down 7 warehouses in the province. The union's president says Amazon's decision to close the facilities is an attempt at shutting down unionization efforts. Amazon has dismissed the suggestion that the closures are linked to a unionization push in the province, insisting the closures will help deliver efficient and cost-effective services to customers. The union says it also plans to take legal action against Amazon because of violations of the provincial labor code dealing with obstruction of union activities.
Okay, we're taking a quick break right now. Steve is going to be back with your traffic and your 7-day forecast with a warning about tomorrow.
All right, well, welcome back to Morning Live at 6:24 on your Wednesday. So not a bad day shaping up here. We'll see a bit of sun. Temperatures maybe a degree or so below what they normally are, but it's the overnight tomorrow that is going to make the difference. Into tomorrow is going to make the difference. But now on the highways, seeing things fairly busy. Again, it's not even 6:30 in the morning. We're fairly busy moving eastbound as we go through the Burlington Skyway Bridge area up by Pearson Airport. We're seeing, again, things moving along in pretty good shape right now as we speak, and down towards Niagara, seeing by Ontario Street, traffic is building up just a little bit, but still moving in pretty good shape. Up by the Ford plant, traffic is again still moving along well. Weather not a factor in the drive today. 403 west of King Road, seeing no major problems. Up by Pearson Airport, we're seeing conditions starting to build up there again, but again, traffic's moving along in pretty good shape. Top end of Toronto, 401 Avenue Road, seeing things looking pretty good right now. But they're just rearranging the cameras right there, but showing fairly busy as you head out there. However, we're not seeing any problems at this point, so let's hope it stays that way. As far as problems weather-wise for us, well, actually, let's start with the temperatures right now. Looking at -8, -9, depending on where you are, and feeling 2 or 3 degrees cooler than that, so a little on the crispy side to start the day as far as temperatures are concerned. And we'll see high pressure move into the area, which will give us some partly clear skies today, probably more cloud than anything else. But it's a couple of systems that are going to get together as we get into the overnight period. The colder air to the north and the warmer air coming up from the south are going to do battle basically over top of us, and it looks like we could see a couple centimeters of snow, maybe some ice pellets, maybe some freezing rain to start the day tomorrow. So it's going to be kind of messy, so you may want to just give yourself a few extra minutes tomorrow to start the day. So that's what we've got really on the go for us. And your Wednesday planner looks like this, up to about -4, and we're looking into the tonight drive home. Should be no problem with partly clear skies. And looking ahead, we do see -4 is the high, a couple of centimeters of snow. Saturday, we could see a little bit of snow after that, but in general terms, a little cooler than seasonal. That's it.
Okay, thanks very much. Well, the Super Bowl is just days away, and there are so many predictions right now, but I like this one.
Yeah, so Iowa's Blank Park Zoo left the prognosticating, and it's tiger Misha, and she's calling for a three-peat. The 13-year-old Amur tiger was offered 2 treat-filled boxes decorated for each team. Misha sniffed the boxes and then devoured the Chiefs box, signifying her pick. Officials at the zoo say the animals there have a pretty good track record of picking the winners, getting it right 11 out of 14 times. If the Chiefs do, in fact, prove Misha right, they will become the first team in NFL history to win 3 consecutive Super Bowls.
Let's see over/under with a tiger.
I don't. I didn't even realize they were still playing this game. I thought they canceled it after the Bills lost last week. Yeah, I assumed after the Bills had lost that like they were.
From that?
No. I just who cares? It's the Super Bowl, whatever. All right, coming up, we got more to come, right?
We do.
All right, we're half an hour down. We got more to go.